Vive la France! Once again, it's me as always, funkdoc. And we have ourselves a good 4-player game here. On this particular map, been a lot of France featured lately. I'll pay 8 for the 4 plant here. There are builds that I like with the 4 for sure. This is a pretty friendly map for building in general. I feel like nobody gets a bad build here. 4 is still worth a good amount of money just because you do get a better build compared to others, and also how cheap you get the coal. Mastaba has to bid. We know Mastaba is bidding the 4. Anyway, it's me, Mastaba, amitss1, and dsscott. Amit might bid 5 for the 3 here, thinking triple Paris, but passes at 4, kind of the standard price there. Cheap uranium as per usual with this map. That's the whole gimmick of France. Really the only difference from France compared to other maps. dsscott actually bid 6 for the 5 plant. That's really unusual to see, especially after Scott didn't bid for the 3 at all. Well, we have a bunch of legit step 3 plants out there in the market right now. I'm definitely building one somewhere. It's just a question of where. Aqua is tempting. I would build memes. Oh no, never mind. Mastaba goes for the Aqua build. Alright. Alright. Here's what I can do. What I can do is this. Still want a 1 build somewhere. I think I'll try this because of the connection to Dijon, which could potentially be useful. Hopefully someone else builds in yellow, though. Scott with the triple Paris. That's a nice build to get for the 5 plant. But again, I'm not a fan. Like, it made more sense for Scott than for me because if you triple build, you're forced to buy the 10 plant on the next turn. And the 10 does not pair with the 4. The 10 pairs a lot better with the 5 because you can run oil on the 5. So that build makes a lot more sense for Scott than it did for me. And Amit now is going to build in yellow. Yes, correct build. For sure. The greedy build in this situation would be Dijon, but I don't feel I need that. It's a connection I'm keeping open for future purposes. For now, I definitely want to get into here. $42 out, 34 in. Anyway, we ain't bidding on the 10. Okay, 24 comes in. That's a big plant to block the market. 10 was arguably worth a little money in that case. Anyway, we are going to go to town on this baby. I need to build tours in Le Mans first. That'll secure my area around here. Now I'll let Mastaba pass because this means I can safely buy a plant at the bottom. We bid... Whoa! Really now? Really now? I have to pass on the 12 and just see if something drops, right? There's a lot of drops that could come. And none of them came. So, I'll take the 9. Interesting that Amit would buy the 12. Anyway, I can buy the 9 now and safely stay bottom in the turn order, so this works for me. This does help Mastaba, though. Like, removing the market, which normally hurts the 11, but it's just filling up with so many bad plants now that it's not going to matter. And I definitely have to buy coal while I can while it's still cheap. That's for sure. I probably should have bought the extra oil, too, come to think of it, what with Amit using the 12 there. Mastaba might be able to build... He can probably get up to 3 cities with these 2 really cheap ones. I'd have a hard time believing he could build Neems and still hit 3, though. I mean, 3 cities. Maybe he can. The oil buy this turn suggests that. Okay, Mastaba gets... He takes the cheap cities and gets to 3. Okay. It's pretty rare that you can buy the 9 on turn 2 and get bottom of the turn order. Gladly take that. Will gladly take that. Ooh, 23. I think I might actually buy this. Assuming it gets passed to me. With 24 blocking the market, it's not going to get good for a little while yet. It makes 23 a little better here. I would have exactly enough money in this situation. Ooh. Never mind. Now I think I pass on this? Hey, this is why we pass. Now this is a plan I will bet on. All day. Definitely got a bid on this, baby. 18 coming this early, big deal. Hopefully Scott thinks he might get a good drop and just let... Wow! Okay, I just bodied that auction then. Why did you not bid on 18, Scott? Why the hell did you not bid on 18? Well, I feel like Scott kind of... Yeah, 24, there we go. Scott had to buy a plant there of some sort. 24 with 30 right behind it is not so hot, though. So here's what I can do. This is an interesting option here. Thing is, Emmett, I feel like Emmett's just not really a player I need to target necessarily. I don't know if I want to get Dijon now. I think I'd rather focus on protecting this. Okay. Store my 2 oil now. I will not store any more coal. What I will do this turn is build to 3 and burn the coal. I want to be ready in case another plant comes on. Yeah, I agree with Scott not burning trash yet. Scott's waiting for trash to get down to a cheaper price for the 24. 2 trash come in per turn in 4-player, so... But yeah. I want to be prepared to replace the 4 whenever needed, which is why I'll burn coal this turn and not oil. Mastaba building Neems, which is understandable. He's worried about Amit potentially going down there next turn. Ha! Well, that's good news for me. This has just gone really badly for Mastaba ever since the turn with the 11, because 23 came into the game and got bought, driving up his uranium cost, and then I got the 18 for 19 bucks. That might have been the same price he paid for the 11, actually, which is pretty ridiculous. I mean that the 11 price is reasonable, the 18 was just way too cheap. Amit's needs to build Dijon now. Yeah, there we go. Agreed. Amit only building the 3 cities. Huh. I'm just taking all my cheap cities now. Yeah, I think Orleans just gives you so many connections to relevant parts of the map. All the cheap stuff around here, it's the cheapest connection to Paris. You have the jump to Dijon that's actually not really that expensive when you consider, like, the cheapest connection to Dijon from elsewhere on the map is 13. So 18's not that bad. Scott having to burn trash already when trash is sitting at $5 a piece, that's a good sign for me. Masaba's just continuing to overbuild right now. Really, well, and that's a big step for him that he's able to break out of Aqua already in step 1. That's unusual for that build. Need to think about this one. I think I can wait here. Right? We've gotten through so many of the bad plants already. There's a couple still left, but I don't think 27's a burning need right now. Oh god, one of those only bad plants came. Well, Mastaba's back in this game now. That was the worst possible plant that could have come. Even worse than 15 or 16. With 2 other nuclear plants in the game, 17 is it just has no value now. I'm considering, like, I've been considering building to 7 now. It'll get 2 bad plants out of the market if I do it this turn, and I easily have the money to do it. That's for sure. That's probably my best move right now. Get 2 bad plants out of the market, and there should be something next turn I can buy. Like, everything left is big plants except for 15, 16, and 22. Yeah, I think I make the move now. It's just a question whether Le Havre or Rennes is more valuable, and I think Le Havre is the answer. This leaves 31 in the market for now. I just need to make the most money I can now, though. I have to burn that coal. I'll go for 31 over 30 here, actually, because of 24 being in use for a little bit. Means trash is going to suck. So typically in this kind of situation, the player with the weakest plants is the one who's most incentivized to move the market in this game, I think. So even though I could have stalled, like, I could have stalled at the bottom of the turn order on that last turn, but I wasn't set up to make a whole lot of money doing so. So that's why I think it was in my favor to build, especially since I'm not at risk of being cornered in my builds. I have a lot of options for expanding. $16, huh? One of the only duds left. I have to imagine at least one of 20 or 25 will show up at some point. Ooh. Getting a click on this. I think I pass here, right? Score. All right. Now we're in business. That is the plant that I wanted to see. And I'll replace the 9 now. There's no way I run the 32 and... Well, no, Mastaba's there to bid on me. That's right. Oh, man. This is weird and interesting. This is worth money, though. Really? 28 had to be the thing that came of all the things. 28, huh? This is what you do to me. On the plus side, uranium shouldn't be too heavily in use. Yeah, I'll just take this. I mean, arguably it should have been 16 to burn more oil, but I at least do have the 9 for a little bit of oil use right now. Plus, this way with this plant, I can power exactly enough cities if I just buy 28 now. Gets me to exactly 7 capacity, which is what I have, so... And that's good because I could not afford to build this turn had I gotten one of the bigger plants. Ah, 33. Why couldn't you have come one plant sooner? Oh well. Oh well. I still feel like I'm decently set up in terms of making money. Very low chance 33 stays in the market next turn. Only 2 plants left in the deck, potentially, that can keep it on. Everything else left is lower than 30. And now I can't store any extra oil in the 9, since that will clearly be my next plant to replace. People are... Why are y'all buying uranium? What the fuck? I think it goes up to 2 per turn now, right? Yeah, uranium restock is 2 per turn now, so... I don't... Okay, cool. As long as I can keep uranium in the single digits for my 28, I feel fine about that. 32 maybe should have been bid higher, though. I don't know. It was kind of an awkward spot for me. And I feel like these other players might be overpaying for it, for their plants, if they can't really build with them. Okay. I can't build Dijon. I can build one more city. Can't build Dijon, though. Could build Claremont. Because I do want to build one. Everybody besides me is a 6 plant. This is pretty wild. Suspect Mastaba is the player I want to block the most. Let's look at where they are in turn order. Mastaba would be stuck building before the others. So, do I do Claremont? I think so. No, Paris. Next turn is when Emmett should... I expect Emmett won't buy uranium next turn. Mastaba probably won't either. They need to start using their 6 capacity plans on this next turn here. Wow, 33 actually stays on. Question is... Problem is... I don't think it's worth it. Nobody else here can afford to buy a plant right now. Everybody else besides me really needs to build. But I just suspect, like, what I want to do is I want to get below all these players in the turn order here. There's still, like, 20, 25, 26. Those are all still yet to come. And, like, odds are at least one of those has to be in the game. I would have dropped 35 for people had I bought it. Holy shit. We know 40 is going to go under the deck this turn. The question is, we might have this crazy thing next turn of everybody buying a plant, perhaps. But yeah. So 35 is guaranteed to get pushed off the market next turn. It's just a question of by what. But yeah. My goal now is to drop to bottom in the turn order, so that if nothing else, I could at least safely buy 33 without dropping a bigger plant, because 33 should still make enough money to be worth it. Well, I have to see. I would have to see where others are building. Problem is now, fossil fuels are getting really cheap. While trash is not. So that's actually justifying the values of 31 and 32 vis-a-vis the 30. Usually 30 is much better than the other two early 6 plants, but this game is the opposite because of 24 existing. I am very glad I built Paris. I am very glad I built Paris. Is Scott going to take Wrens? Yeah, there he goes. As I expected. The fact that Scott can't afford to get to 10 is a little encouraging. Mastaba grabbing Dijon, which makes a lot of sense, because he doesn't really have anywhere to go out west. So Dijon's his best spot left. I'd be thrilled if he doesn't build Claremont. I'm eyeing Claremont and a jump into Aqua. Nope, he takes it. That makes sense. And I'm not going to build, obviously, because that means I get bottom in the turn order. Okay. What I would do, I'm passing on any 4 capacity plants here. I am passing on those. There's got to be 1 5 plant left in the deck, right? There has to be. There has to be, right? Like, getting a 4 plant actually makes some sense for Mastaba here. Also, I'm probably losing this game big time considering how cheap the resources are getting. 31 and 32 are turning out to be amazing. It looks like I really should have bid harder for 32 in particular. But either one of them would have been worth more to me. I didn't like that I wouldn't be able to get to 8 cities that turn if I won one of them, but I guess the other players couldn't get beyond 6 cities with one of those, and they're doing fine now, so. I would actually rather buy 29 than 33 right now, by the way, if it comes to that. I'd rather buy 29 because of turn order, because All the other players besides me have plants in the 30s, so 29 would keep me with the lowest numbered plant for turn order purposes. Okay, ooh, Scott's actually... I don't know why Scott's the one buying 33. That's weird. Here we go. This is what I was waiting for. I have to bid for this. I have to. Or do I? Like, if it's cheap, I'll... You see? I mean, I'll take that if it's that cheap. Well, Amit got a sweet deal there. Yeah, I'd definitely buy the 20. 26 is more long-term value, though. I'm okay with this. And now we're already in step 3. Cool, cool, cool. We got a lot of big, big plants in the game. $20 though. $20 is actually going to be a nice deal. At least like 20 and 26 being bought now will hurt the big, like the top 6 plants. Mastaba being the main player I'm worried about here. Like, the players who've been in trash are at a disadvantage now. I do think Mastaba is the favorite in this game, and then me. He's the player I'm most focused on blocking, so I'm definitely taking the rest of Paris this turn for sure. Because Mastaba does have a direct connection there. Question is where my 11th city will be. I'm not building beyond 11. I'm just not. Ruin is the most obvious spot. That's the cheapest spot. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Keeping Mastaba out of Paris would be a major advantage. One nice thing is I don't really have to worry so much about turn order with 26 versus 20. Because look at the plants there next turn. 36 is going to be bought. There's likely more coal coming. You have 42s in the deck. 42 and 46, so there's going to be a lot more pressure on coal. All right, well, Scott builds to 11, so I stay below Scott in the turn order at least. And Mastaba's kind of forced to build to 11 now because of buying that uranium. Otherwise, he risks that getting wasted when he replaces 11 next turn. Why'd you have to leave Paris open, Amit? We should have completely blocked Paris from Mastaba, I feel. There he goes. Okay. Interestingly, he doesn't take Paris, so Emmy's definitely going to grab that next turn for sure. Has to grab Paris, that cheap Paris spot. Yeah, this is such a good step 3 market to start with. This is amazing. M8's in a little bit of an awkward spot because of having resources, in this case oil, stored on the 12 because that can't be moved over to the 20. I'll click this once. Scott has a little more reason to desire this plant. I think I'll give it up to him though. He can replace 24 with it, but even still, that's not the greatest thing in the world. 39 is clearly the next plant to put up for bid, I think. Or probably 50. Actually, 50 would be better, I feel. Here's the deal. God damn it. Well, that does make me glad I got a 7 at least. Yeah, coal's gonna get real expensive for me now. Not too bad. 42 is the only other coal plant. $50 not being bought feels like a mistake for me, in retrospect. But that was the, oh my god, 46 was like the worst possible drop that could have come for me. That's annoying. Oh well. Emmett still doesn't block Paris, huh? This is what we do now, eh? Here's what we can do. This is a build that we can make. I was going to say, Amit, why did you leave Paris open for Mastaba? He's going to take that. And that opens up a lot for him going into here. Well, no, Amit can build here next turn, but... Nah. I'm not even top, which is the funny part. I should be able to get step 2 Mulhouse and could potentially take Breast. Yeah, I can end the game with a 5 here. Seems like the move. I have resources stored and Mastaba doesn't, and I build before him, so I'm thinking Mastaba and I are both going to end up shooting for 17, and I should have him beat then, I think. Because I could do Leon, Grenoble, Mulhouse as final builds. That's an option. Okay. 42 is the last plant left. We know that. Okay. No one else is going to want a 5. Is it worth paying? Okay, let me think about this. I don't think these other two are going to buy a plant at all. Don't think these other two will buy a plant at all. Yeah, I can't quite go for 18. Not quite. I'm fairly close, but not quite. So I think I pass this and just go for 34. Because Emmy's clearly going to buy oil on 46. The only question is, can Emmy get to 18? That would be the issue here. And these people don't need this plan either. So this, I think, is the better buy versus bidding on 35. Plus, hey, I hurt Mastaba another buck this way. And actually, Mastaba arguably should have put 34 up for bid. If Emmy buys 3 oil on 46, Mastaba will need to buy 3 oil on 32, so his oil for 35 will actually cost him 5. So he loses out on an extra buck compared to me that way. So anyway, 1 coal, 1 uranium is all I need. Question is, like, Emid is going to build an Aqua. That's my concern. I keep missing out on Aqua in these games, and that's pretty rough. Okay, Leon gets blocked, which is bad news for me. Okay, Scott can't get there. That's good news for me. And he blocks Emit. Emit's builds a little bit too. It's gonna. I'm not sure Emit's can get to 18 now. Scott made it into Aqua. So there's at least a little competition there. Wow. Okay. This is where it gets tricky now. We know we build that. For sure, because that also blocks Mastaba. Here's a question. That only leaves me with $8 left. I might actually lose this because of getting blocked in yellow a little bit. Alas. Where's the cheapest builds left for Mastaba? Mastaba has, let's see for builds. Mastaba has Tours, Angers, Rennes all open. So he'll take those. I don't need to worry about blocking him. I just need to think what's cheapest for me. Ooh, yeah, that's a lot cheaper, actually. Because this is a step 2 spot, so I can take this. And as predicted, the two players who heavily invested in trash are the two that end up behind here. Just as I called earlier in the game, so glad to have gotten that prediction right at least. Does Okay, Mastaba gets a 17. So I have a little bit of wiggle room here at 17, but I feel like Mastaba might still beat me. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Yes, I got the win. Interesting. Interesting, because... Oh yeah, for sure. Interesting. Interesting here. Wow, I got really lucky there. dsscott misclicked. So this is a game we can chalk up to the glory of the BSW interface, not allowing any undos. So Scott stopped building at 16 when he actually could have gotten to 17. And if he did get into 17, he would have just barely beaten me, I think. That's what it looks like here. Really, this was actually a lucky win for me. Wow, so Scott should have won this, huh? Interesting. After Scott invested so much in trash, that surprises me, but I guess making 33 an endgame plant was worth it. So yeah, Masta was doing the math, and Scott would have beaten me by 2 electros if he built that 17th city. Oh, that's rough. Good win to Scott. Even if the game doesn't say it, good win to Scott. All right, and with that, see you later.